Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
The Bengals got to right the ship this week. They take on the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Ravens had a win, but man, they look like they're in rough shape after dealing with a bunch of injuries again. The offensive line looks bad right now for Baltimore, but not to get into too much analysis, I couldn't help it. But the Bengals have a chance to get it back together here and go 1-1, get their season on the right track before we look too far ahead. But there's the easier opponents are right around the corner. You got to get through Baltimore, get this thing right, figure out the offensive side of the ball, probably ride the defense for at least another week. This Cincinnati defense that still looks really, really good. As poor as the offense looked last week, the defense could have won that game easily. Had the offense have been able to muster 13, 14 points, I believe this could have been a low-scoring, duke-it-out type of game. And that's where we're going to focus today on Bengals on the Brain. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. The show is presented by First Star Logistics. We're going to look at the tape on the defensive side. And I know you might be ready to move on to the next week. This tape is going to focus on player evaluation. These are things that you can keep for future reference for, hey, this guy looks really good. This guy is doing this. This guy is used in this role. Things like that we can take to future weeks. We're not going to break down the X's and O's and what happened against the Browns. We're going to look at players individually. Look at everyone on the defense that made plays, and pretty much everyone did. So there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to look at and have fun with despite the loss. You know, we're not going to look at the score. We're not going to reference that stuff when we get in there. And we're just going to this is what I do when I'm thinking, like, you know, should I bring the grade up on Cam Sample a little bit? Do I adjust Myles Murphy here? Do I adjust Germaine Pratt's processing speed, yada yada? Because even in a loss, there's a lot to watch and there's a lot to take away from. And there's a lot of little things that maybe just are little now. So I want to note them because they could be trends later. They could be something we come back on and said, remember we saw that in week 1. Remember we saw that in week 2. Remember they were toying with this idea. They were starting this package. They were starting to put this guy in this situation. And then we'll be 4 or 5 weeks down the line and we can reference this and have an idea of what we're looking at. So enjoy the defensive tape. I'll be back after this as soon as we watch this and preview the Bengals Ravens a little bit more. Let's flip to it. All right, let's dive into the tape, and we're starting with Trey Hendrickson right away here. And Trey Hendrickson had a big day as a pass rusher. Really the only guy on the Bengals defense getting a consistent pass rush, forces the incomplete pass right there. I want you to look at this defense. This is the first third down of the game. The Bengals are out there in a dime defense, meaning 4 corners, but you'll see Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, Chidobe Awuzie, he's in the slot, so is Turner. Dax Hill is the other corner down here because he's playing man coverage on a tight end, which rotates Mike Hilton back to safety. So it's an interesting look because the Bengals don't do this. They don't normally play a dime defense. And they cover everyone pretty well, but Deshaun Watson sees man coverage and takes off. Mike Hilton comes from that robber safety position and comes up and makes the tackle. Next play here for the Bengals defense. I want you to focus on Logan Wilson and Germaine Pratt doing kind of like a cross dog blitz here where one guy's going to take the blocker. Hopefully the other guy loops around him and only one guy gets picked up, which is exactly what happens there. But I want you to focus on Cam Sample. Looked like he took a step this summer. He's going to win around the arc, get the hand off him from Jedrick Wills and help make the sack. He's not going to get credit for it on the stat sheet, but anytime a guy can run the arc, I'm happy about it. You see the way he swats down that outside arm, gives himself a clean area to disengage, work back inside, get a hit on the quarterback on back-to-back plays. That's what you want to see out of the young ascending player. But let's get Trey Hendrickson back in there, and let's watch him swipe that outside arm, run the arc, force Watson to escape. This is the next third down of the game. Bengals get their stop. Get your eyes on BJ Hill. So he's going to try and take on this double team in order to let Sam Hubbard loop around him and get a free pressure on the quarterback, which is exactly what happens. You see Watson sees Sam Hubbard and says, I got to get out of there. BJ Hill gets his eyes on the quarterback, sheds number 77, makes a diving gator roll tackle to save the third down play for the defense. Eyes back on Trey Hendrickson. He had a monster day, like I said, but against the run, he had his moments where he was the guy getting picked on. Not here. Look at him lock, peek, defend the edge, hold the edge. Now the running back's going to cut up between them, and we've got a bunch of bodies in there. You do your job as a defensive end. If you're a young defensive end and you're watching this, set the edge, allow your defenders inside to make the play, and that's exactly what happened here. Let's watch Zach Carter, another young guy, doing the same thing, getting underneath the pads there, getting underneath, exploding into 71, lifting him, and then getting your eyes in the backfield. Let's see where the ball is. Find the ball, and let's see if we can shed this and make a play, get our face in there as Logan Wilson is coming to fill the hole and take on the lead blocker. And defending the run is about giving up your body sometimes. You got to dive into these guys, these pullers, these lead blockers. Don't give them any room. Sure, you might get drove into the ground. You might eat some dirt, but the rest of the defense will thank you for it as they clean up the play and make the stop. Back on Trey Hendrickson here as we're going to run the arc, try and get pressure on the quarterback. Watch his hands. Hands never stop. He's punching. He's ripping. He's pulling. He's keeping them swimming. Keep yourself clean and get around that arc. Force that quarterback up in the pocket and get a hand on the ball if you can. And I think he does here. I think he hits the back half of that football and forces the errant pass. That's two pressures that lead to incompletions for Trey Hendrickson already in this game. DJ Reader doing what DJ Reader does, shedding two blockers, putting low pressure on the quarterback. You need that from the inside, where I thought the Bengals didn't get enough pressure on Sunday. All right, flipping it over, next play. Number 77 is going to pull, but the Bengals are attacking that side of the field. All three guys are going to pinch inside, which means Cam Taylor-Britt's got to take on number 77. And man, you're giving up 100 pounds, but he's not afraid. Watch him drop that shoulder. Don't give up any ground. Logan Wilson's the free man, which means Nick Chubb's going to cut it upfield now. But you've got Cam Sample in there doing his thing, disengaging from that tight end and making the tackle, wrapping up Nick Chubb while the rest of his defense joins in and helps make the stop. Let's look at it from this angle. Watch him drive the tight end over and then make the play. And yeah, you're right. You did see Cam Taylor-Britt end up getting crushed at the end of the play, but that's defense. Sometimes you got to do it just to do your part. Let's look at Sam Hubbard on the other side. All Sam Hubbard does is work. All Sam Hubbard does is give up his body and defend the run no matter what. We showed these other guys taking on these pullers. Sometimes it's just dipping under and not giving any room. He got the job done there. That's what it is. That's what it looks like. Defense, especially run defense, isn't always pretty. But DJ Reader here, getting underneath that center, driving them backwards. BJ Hill's going to spin off his guy, and they're going to float to the ball together. So as Sam Hubbard sets the outside edge and trips up the blocker and Nick Chubb, your two defensive tackles beside you are going to be the ones to stop that play and get in there. Eyes on Mike Hilton as he's coming off from the slot. Again, giving up that body, working between two blockers, right? Sure, it's a receiver, a couple of receivers. That's nothing for Mike Hilton. He takes on offensive linemen. But the way he knifes inside, grabs the ankle, doesn't let go, spins with him. That's why Mike Hilton is special. But the run defense owes a lot to Germaine Pratt. Jedrick Wills is going to try and come up and block him in space at the second level. But Pratt is not going to allow that to happen because he reads the play so quickly that he gets there before Wills even has a chance to get up on the line. And a lot was made out of DeJuan Jones playing at right tackle. He had to come in when Jack Hockman went down. But Sam Hubbard, I don't think he minds that this guy is 6'8", 400 pounds or whatever he is. Sam Hubbard's just going to work you. He's going to stay outside. He's going to keep pushing. He's going to keep fighting. He's not going to give you any room to block him. And then he's going to make the tackle after he sheds you. DeJuan Jones gets tripped up there, but that's because Sam Hubbard wasn't giving him any room to operate. We got a quick snap by the Browns. So quickly, the Bengals aren't ready. The defense isn't ready. Watch Dax Hill, and Dax and Logan Wilson are almost flowing with Deshaun Watson, almost both spying him. Well, someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to go in there, and it's Dax Hill. He closes quickly, gets in the passing lane, and then helps wrap him up. And here's Sam Hubbard and DJ Reader making a sandwich out of Deshaun Watson, bringing him down as the play goes incomplete. Bengals get another stop. Eyes back on Trey Hendrickson. Continues his dominant day. Normally he runs the arc. Well, I think Jedrick Wills is ready for that because quickly inside Hendrickson dips in. Little rip move when you get your arm on the shoulder pad there. Keep hunting, follow the ball, flow to the ball, make a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Look on the other side. You want to block Sam Hubbard in the run game with a tight end? You can try, but it's not good for your running offense. And Sam Hubbard, watch him how he stacks, he's peeking, he sees it the whole way. You want to dance with me? You want to go left and right? I can go left and right with you, Nick Chubb. And my defense is going to come in here and make the play. So again, that's another play where Sam Hubbard, you're not on the stat sheet, but the defense works because you're doing your job. Trey Hendrickson again now. Let's get that pass rush going, huh? Around the arc, make first contact. The hands are missing there. He's missing on his handwork, but he's still got another chance here to lift this outside hand off of him, work back inside, get both hands off of him, and collapse the pocket. Closing speed on the quarterback, make the play. There's your sack, Trey Hendrickson, on a big day rushing the passer. The Browns got a extra offensive lineman in here. Number 53 is going to pull from the right to the left. He's going to take on Cam Sample on the edge there. And let's watch how Sample takes this on as this run play goes towards him. Again, you got to give up your body, right? That's what I said. Take it on, force him back inside, and you need your help of your defense. Your Nick Scotts, your DJ Readers, fill in those holes. Cam Sample even gets back up and helps slam Nick Chubb to the turf. Let's keep an eye on DJ Reader here, see how he handles it. The guard wants to block him. He's going to quickly turn to the guard. Zach Carter is going to do the same. They're both going to stand their guys up and work towards the play. Keep pushing towards the play. And then Nick Scott's in there to fill. And then everyone collapses on the running back. That is team defense, and that's what it looks like. Finally, we get a pass play here from the wide angle. Eyes on Dax Hill as he looks like he's playing deep, then comes up, looks like he's going to blitz, drops back into coverage. Now he's running with the eyes of Deshaun Watson. Where are you going, Watson? Interception. Let's take this back. Actually, I think he could have gone a little bit further here. He looked a little gassed, right? That could have been a touchdown. But what happened in the front? Why was that such a bad pass? We're going to get our eyes on Zach Carter in a second here, the second-year player out of Florida. But as Watson gives the play action, rolls out to the left here, he doesn't see anybody open. He's going to have to bail to the left, flip his hips as he sees a guy open. But look who stays with the play. It's Zach Carter. Get a hand up, tip the pass, and he does. Get your hand right in front of the quarterback. It's like a 1 in 100 chance, right? Both guys on the move like that. He does it. Probably could have laid a better block on Watson. He decided not to get the block in the back. Let's not push it. Let's not go too far. And Dax Hill is the recipient of that interception. Man, the defense could have had a day, huh? If the offense was even semi-functional, this should have been a ground and pound, grind it out type of performance. Should have been a 9-7 type game. Eyes on Nick Scott. Again, you got to take that guy in space, that offensive lineman in space. He's got 100 pounds on you, but you don't care. You'll roll in the dirt to get a stop for your defense. Germaine Pratt, guy who makes it all work in the run defense. He fast fits. He reads so quickly. He processes so quickly against the run. Plays like that where he can just knife in the backfield. Eyes on DJ Reader. He also makes this thing work. That's 79. That's Big Thanos. That's DeJuan Jones. I think he's supposed to be blocking DJ Reader there. He looks a little confused on what he's doing. Now he's in the way of the rest of his team. Reader's going to take on the pulling center, help stuff that up, and force a stop. We'll stay with DJ Reader. It's another play here. Second down. He's going to get his hands on that pass. They didn't credit it. I checked PFF. They didn't give him a batted ball there. They should have. DJ Turner versus Elijah Moore in the slot. Two quick, fast guys. Man coverage. Good job on third down. That's a third down stop for the rookie DJ Turner. More pulling linemen for the Browns. 75 is going to go to the right and take on Sam Hubbard. Hubbard's going to dip around it. He sees it very quickly. Watch how Hubbard looks inside, gains depth, and then loops around that puller, forcing Chubb back to the middle, forcing him back to DJ Reader, back to Zach Carter. That's exactly what you want to do. And DeJuan Jones is supposed to come up and get Germaine Pratt here, but Pratt is going to take the fight to DeJuan, get to him before he's even ready. His 79 is very slow processing still, and he helps leave no room for Nick Chubb to run the ball. We'll stay with Germaine Pratt, huh? Why not? He makes a lot of plays. Watch how he gets under this blocker. He's the first guy there to close this hole, make a stop. Let's check from the backside. This defensive line continued to win. The interior guys continued to win. Cam Sample on the edge, willing to set the edge. Reader and Carter. Carter's turning into a good run defender. Both Cam Sample and Carter close. Keep the blocker at a distance. That's what it looks like. Pratt again. We blitz in here. We got a run blitz. Going to take on 55. Set the edge. Look how he takes him on. Stays to the outside. Forces 34 back inside. You want to go back inside? Fine. That's where Reader is. That's where BJ Hill is. That's a defensive stop. We'll keep our eyes on DJ Reader, of course, the man that stirs it for the run defense, in the middle of the defense, the heart of the defense. Look how he stays free, stays clean, stays flowing with the ball. And then once the cutback happens, he throws that guy off of him. Throws 77 like he's nothing. Plants that outside foot, torques his body, all muscle, all strength. Eyes back on Germaine Pratt. Why not? He had a monster game. One of the standouts on defense, probably the best defensive player of the day. Taking on blockers, not giving an inch. There is nothing there with Germaine Pratt. You are not getting down the field. You are not blocking him. You are not. He knows he's got to be the outside guy here because everyone crashes in. He knows he's going to take on one of these lead blockers, and he does. 55, 75, you're both going to have a piece. You're not getting any ground. Takes it on, stays on his feet, and helps makes the tackle as Nick Scott on the outside forces a little bit of hesitation. Cam Sample, look how he works. Look how he sets the outside edge, then works back inside to make the stop. Same with BJ Hill on the inside. The outside edge only works. It's only effective. It's only rewarding when the inside guys also win and flow with the ball and make a stop. You're wondering where Myles Murphy is, right? 14 plays on defense. Bulk of them came late in the game when some backups were getting sprinkled in here. You can see some guys are. Jake Tufele's out there. Josh Tupou, Cam Sample, backup D-line. But if you're not going to block Myles Murphy, his get off is good. His speed is good. He's an athlete. If you're going to say, hey, the tight end's going to down block and get play side in front of him, I don't think he can reach him. So he's going to split these two. He's going to split 84 and 79 and flow with the ball. He realizes it. When he gets up to full speed, man, that running back just sat down. He wanted no part of it. Last play, Dax Hill getting a stop in the backfield with help from Myles Murphy setting the edge on the puller. 99 and 23 right there. A couple of young guys for this Bengals defense. They know how to do it. They fit in right away. Lots of good stuff on the defensive side, and I know it's tough to watch sometimes, even after a loss. You don't want to see that game anymore. You just want to burn the tape and be done with it. But when you see Cam Sample and Zach Carter and Dax Hill and these guys all playing well, I mean, it gets you excited for the future. DJ Turner as well, I thought, had a really good game, especially first game ever, and he's playing in the slot a bunch. I always thought he could be a slot corner because of his quickness and the way he plays coverages. He's not the physical guy you want, which kind of you have to have that in the slot. So maybe he'll never be that. But in certain situations like this where he's got to go and cover an Elijah Moore, I think that makes a lot of sense. This week, I want to be surprised if we see DJ Turner get in there and cover Zay Flowers a little bit against Baltimore. Put speed on speed. And Cam Taylor-Britt is fast also, but he's just not as agile as DJ Turner is, which is, key to creating separation and getting open. So I think we could see Turner get into that role. Cam Sample got his ankle twisted on the Zach Carter tip to DJ Turner. If you go back and see that, I should have pointed it out at the time, but DJ Reader kind of fell into his ankle. He wasn't practicing as of the time of recording this. We'll see if he's back, but Joseph Ossai, it looks like he could be back this week. It'll be interesting to see that rotation on the defensive line and see if you can get both Sample and Ossai out there. I think they can help. I think Hubbard and Hendrickson still played too many snaps. Hendrickson, I pointed out how often he was good against the pass rusher. I didn't keep the plays in where they took his over aggressiveness and cut off of it and had the cutback lane and got some big chunk runs. Bengals did give over 200 yards on the ground, but a lot of that was on just like 3 chunk plays. And when they started getting wore down at the end of the game, when the offense wasn't doing anything, Hendrickson, take him off the field for those plays. Like, save his juice for the third down. Save his juice for the obvious passing situations, for second and third down. Let Cam Sample get in there. He's good enough now. Let Joseph Ossai get in there. He's good enough. Rotate them with Sam Hubbard. Let's get more pass rush juice on that side of the field. The defensive interior as well. They played really well against the run. I think Carter is turning into a good run defender. I've seen some comments online like, man, Carter, it might be good now. He's a good 3-tech. And I'm like, I still need a pass rusher from that position. I still need someone with some upfield burst from that spot. And I don't think he has that. I think Carter could be BJ Hill, and that'd be a fine player. We would all take another BJ Hill, but they don't have a penetrator. They don't have an athlete inside that can rush the passer. And I think that's going to come up and going to be needed as the season goes on. It's going to be something I'm probably going to reference. Like, I can already see it. We're at week 8, 9, 10, right before the trade deadline. And I'm going to be pounding the table over here like, go get an interior pass rusher. So let's see if Ossai can take a step in that role. Maybe Cam Sample can get kicked inside. Find a way to get those guys on the field. It was good to see Chidobe Awuzie out there and look healthy, look quick, look agile. That was a slippery turf out there. They could have said, you know what, let's limit you even more here. This team's not going to throw the ball a whole bunch anyway. Let's not risk you. But he played, and he played a lot of the snaps. And maybe there's going to be a heavy rotation because they like DJ Turner. I could see that. But overall, good to see Awuzie back, and good to see how the Bengals are rotating all of these guys. I like the one play I highlighted with Hilton rotating back to safety. These are going to be some things you're going to have to do and get them all on the field. You don't have Trey Flowers there to cover. They're using Dax Hill in that facet to cover tight ends. So that rotates everything else around. Maybe we'll see Hilton more at safety as he gets older. And it looks like teams want to attack his lack of speed. So something to keep an eye on there. The linebackers played their butts off. They're good. Logan Wilson got chewed up a little bit at times. Let those offensive linemen get their hands on him and then run him down the field a little bit. I still thought he had a decent game, not as bad as PFF thought he did. And Germaine Pratt was really good, really, really good. Anytime against run teams, Germaine Pratt's going to stand out, and he did. So the defense is good. The defense is what we expected, despite not having all hands on deck, with not having Joseph Ossai, not having Awuzie fully healthy. Overall, they looked really good. They're just really missing that interior pass rush, and I think Lou Anrumo's in his bag. The safeties played well enough. Nick Scott's a bit of a wild card in his first game, but he runs hard and he's willing to hit. I'll take that. We'll have to see if he can play a little bit more discipline in the future. But the safeties did their thing. I think Dax Hill looks like a player. Still believe that. And the defense is going to need a big game this week against Baltimore Ravens, who up front, this might be the worst Ravens offensive line I've seen in years, maybe 5 years plus. And the injuries there don't make it any easier for them. So can the Bengals take advantage of the Ravens' injured offensive line and their secondary? That's exactly what I want to see. Like, you tell me why they lost that Browns game. It's because of the talent disparity on the Browns' defensive line versus the Bengals' offensive line, and that they could actually match up at corner with the Bengals' 3 receivers. The Ravens can't do either of those things. And on the flip side, the Bengals' defensive line should have a huge advantage against Baltimore's offensive line. And I think the game can come down to that. I'm expecting the Bengals to look much better. Let's hope it doesn't rain, right? I don't think it's projected to, but let's have some clear skies. Let's watch Burrow throw without the elements coming down on him. There was one still shot. I didn't know how hard it was raining, but I saw a still shot of Burrow getting hit, and the water, the droplets were like bursting off of his helmet and like suspended in animation and air on the still shot. And I was like, man, it really was raining out there. It must have been heavier, way heavier than the cameras were picking up. So let's get a clear day and let's watch him throw without those hindrances of holding the ball, and see if the offense can shake off some of this rust and get on the right track and ready to go, because you don't have too many games that you're able to drop, especially in the division. I got the Bengals 27, Baltimore 20. Bengals get to 1-1 before we move on to Monday Night Football versus the Rams. Make sure you enter the First Star Logistics giveaways. The description below. I read some comments last week. I can't find the link. Click the description on the video. It'll bring down, it'll be what we talked about this episode. And then at the bottom will be a link, take you to their Twitter, or just go to Twitter, First Star Logistics, First Star Log, and you'll find the tweets. You'll find the links. You'll be able to enter their giveaways. They're giving a lot of cool stuff away. Make sure you get onto that and get into that. I'm Joe Goodberry. This has been Bengals on the Brain. The show is presented by, as always, First Star Logistics. Let's get a win this week.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.